Coming up on the Q30 Newscast. Everything you need to know about the recent increase in student org funding from SGA.
Residents in Hampden and North Haven are catching a break. Learn about the new incentive that will discount their tuition at Quinnipiac University.
Plus, getting ready for the big Frozen 4 game tomorrow. Hear from the team about their ambitions for another national championship.
All that and much more coming up on the Q30 Newscast. Good evening and welcome to the Q30 Newscast. I'm Liz Ippolito.
And I'm Audrey Scafati. We start tonight with some exciting news coming from the Student Government Association.
That's right, Audrey. On Monday, Quinnipiac University's Student Government Association announced a 30% increase in their student organization funding.
Q30's Carly Beck has more on what this money will mean for students and their organizations.
Next year, Quinnipiac student organizations will get an additional $200,000, thanks to the Student Government Association. On Monday, they announced a 30% increase to chartered student organization funding for the 2023 to 2024 academic year.
Oh, I was exceptionally excited because any amount of new money is incredible. Any bigger amount of funding is great, but 30% is incredible.
This year, many clubs have said they needed more money to be successful.
We've been seeing highest number of student groups requesting and highest overall requests that we've ever seen here. But the funds were lower than they had been like before COVID.
During COVID, funding was lower.
But now coming out of COVID, the requests were up to $1.1 million for the year, and we weren't able to fund anything. We were really only able to fund about one event per student organization.
This monetary increase will bring the total funding to $875,000. With this money, clubs will be able to have more opportunities for their members.
It's an outstanding leadership development opportunity and opportunity to kind of face challenges and plan an event and manage a budget. I mean, those are really important life skills to have. And so we believe the more opportunities we can give our students to do, the more career ready our students are, the more successful they'll be, the more competitive they'll be in the job market for college.
Some student organization leaders are excited to keep current traditions alive and now add even more.
Currently everything's still in development, but you will still, again, see Trivia Tuesdays, our bingo event, stock nights, and some new added elements to further entice students to come out to SUB events.
SGA will be voting on how much money each student organization will get on April 19th at 4 p.m. in this building right here. Reporting for Q30 News, I'm Carly Beck.
Moving on to some local news, Quinnipiac announced a discounted tuition rate for Hampden and North Haven employees and their families.
Q30's Olivia Cattell spoke with both town mayors as well as university administrators to give us more information.
Last week, Quinnipiac University announced a new program that will provide town employees of Hampden and North Haven and their families with the opportunity to receive discounted tuition at the school. According to Hampden Mayor Lauren Garrett, the idea for this new agreement initially came from a Hampden police commissioner who inquired about furthering education opportunities for local police officers and firefighters. Eventually, it expanded to feature anyone employed by the town. In a statement to Q30, Vice President for Strategy and Community Relations Bethany Zemba said, quote, "When we investigated the idea, we thought, why not expand access to include all town employees in our two sister towns," end quote.
I think that this will be really great for our employees if they would like to continue their education, and it allows for them to be better employees, better teachers, better engineers.
North Haven First Selectman Michael Frieda said in a statement to Q30, "I am very grateful to Quinnipiac University for their generosity in offering this wonderful tuition reimbursement program for our employees' families. Quinnipiac University continues to reinvest in our community." Town employees admitted to the university will be able to receive a 10% discount on tuition for online undergraduate and graduate degree programs. In addition, family members under the age of 25 can qualify for a 30% discount on full-time on-campus undergraduate degrees, as well as a 10% discount for online and on-campus summer programs.
Employees' families are also included, so employees who have children hoping to go to QU, I think that this is pretty meaningful.
Zemba said the university is, quote, "so pleased to be able to provide an incentive for town employees to join the QU learning community," end quote.
I think that the partnership that we have with Quinnipiac is stronger than it ever has been, and I'm really appreciative of it.
For Q30 News, I'm Olivia Cattell.
Back here on campus, Quinnipiac hosted a manufacturing, engineering, and technology career fair on Tuesday. This statewide fair featured almost 100 different manufacturing and engineering companies. Students could go for free to explore full-time internship opportunities or apprentice roles. The event was sponsored by Connecticut's Manufacturing Engineering Internship Program.
On Tuesday, the School of Education hosted its 11th annual Kaleidoscope of Creativity art exhibit. This event gave students from Hamden, North Haven, and Fairhaven School the opportunity to submit their artwork and to be displayed in the lobby of the School of Education. The Dean of the School of Education said she was happy to celebrate the arts.
There's so many events that celebrate sports and celebrate teams. It's rare to celebrate the arts in the schools, and so we really feel like we want to support that aspect of public education. And you can tell just by when the children are here that they're really excited. They take pictures in front of their artwork.
Adjusting to college is not always easy, especially for transfer students. Quinnipiac's Chief Experience Officer Tom Ellett spoke on a podcast about being a transfer student and how universities can be more welcoming. On the podcast, Ellett talks about how there are many transfer students each year. When Ellett was in college, he transferred twice, and here at Quinnipiac, there are about 200 transfers each fall.
In letting transfer students have a little bit more say in their experience is really critically important. Because they've already had a miss for whatever reason, they want to be more able to create what it's going to look like for themselves.
Plus, next week, Tom Ellett will be joining us in studio for an exclusive student media interview. Q30 wants to hear what questions students have for him. Students can submit any relevant questions they have using this QR code right here. Some topics can include dining, student organizations, events on campus, and reflection of his time here at Quinnipiac. This form will close on Sunday at 11:59 p.m.
On Monday, the university held a panel to discuss the question, "What can I do to address violence against women?" The panel included students and others who have worked with survivors of gendered violence. They spoke about their experiences and how others can get involved to help recognize this issue. Q30 spoke with one student at the panel who said it's important to understand good and bad relationship signs.
I've learned so much about intimate partner violence, and I think that this is an issue that needs to have a lot more prevalence amongst our discussions here at Quinnipiac, and especially amongst the age of students here at Quinnipiac. It is really important to just practice healthy, safe relationships and understand the red flags and those that are unhealthy.
The local community is looking to improve youth sports to help this effort. The university held another panel today encouraging more young people in the Hamden and North Haven communities to participate in athletics. This panel, called the Building Bobcats Coaches Panel, was held in the piazza from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Some Quinnipiac varsity coaches came to the panel to discuss good coaching practices for kids.
It's just a game. And I always try to stress to even my girls now, softball isn't what you, like, who you are, it's just what you do. So I think, like, sometimes you just need to step back and, as a parent or as a coach, just realize that. And just make sure that, yes, you can push them, but always try to make it fun.
The largest community service event on campus, called the Big Event, is almost here, and registration closes tonight. On Sunday, April 15th, about 1,600 students, faculty, and alumni will participate in 3 hours of community service. The service will be done at around 100 local sites in Hamden and New Haven areas. Students that are interested can sign up as a team or individually using the link on your screen.
Worried about not using all your meal points? You can now donate them to local nonprofits on Monday. Campus Life announced their annual Tap Out Hunger Drive. Tap Out Hunger gives students the chance to donate up to 200 meal points to Quinnipiac's nonprofit partners. Students can donate on the website or in person at the checkout area of the dining hall. The university goal is to raise 25,000 meal points before the end of April.
Along with managing meal points, some students also learned about managing their energy today. In an Optimizing Human Performance session, students learned about techniques for handling their energy. The session highlighted how important this was for people to thrive in their daily routines. It also helped people's physical and intellectual well-being.
The Easter holiday is upon us. Since most students are going home for the weekend, Quinnipiac's Father Jordan says there will be no service on Easter. But if you're staying on campus, here's what you can expect from dining services. Cafe Q will be open from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., and the York Hill Caf will be open from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. Yet, Au Bon Pain, Starbucks, the Bobcat Den, Shake Spart, and North Haven Cafe will all be closed this weekend.
Here's something you can do if you're staying on campus this weekend. Quinnipiac Common Sans group is holding an improv show Friday at 5:30 p.m. Comic Sans is the university's only on-campus improv troupe. The show will last about 1.5 hours, including a 15-minute intermission. All students are welcome to watch the show and support this group.
During the month of April, Quinnipiac begins to celebrate Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month, 1 month early. To kick off the celebration, the university is holding a lei-making event on Thursday. At the event, the university will have authentic lei-making kits and instructions, all shipped from Hawaii. The event will teach students what a lei symbolizes and how important it is in Hawaiian culture. Students who attend can also enjoy some Hawaiian catered food.
And in Brooklyn, Quinnipiac students made a trip to New York to see the Brooklyn Nets play the Utah Jazz this past Sunday. Thanks to the Student Programming Board, students could sign up and take a university-provided bus ride to the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. The Nets played the Utah Jazz, and students received a free backpack and sweatshirt. The Nets played the Utah Jazz, and luckily enough, the Nets took home the win.
We're about to move on to our first commercial break of the night.
But first, Q30's Ben Rickovicius is in studio to tell us what's up with this week's weather. What do you have for us, Ben?
Thanks, guys. Weather starts off a little bit gloomy this week. Taking a look at tonight, it rained a little bit, and it's going to continue to rain into tomorrow morning. But oddly enough, it's going to be a high of 70 degrees tomorrow, so maybe you're busting out the umbrella and the raincoats, but you're going to want to travel a little bit lighter because of that warm weather. And then Friday, it gets a little bit better. It's a little cloudy, a little sunny, high of 60, low of 32. Want to find out if the weather gets a little bit better this week? You're going to have to stick with us a little bit longer. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a unique mix of all kinds of things.
Come on, Jules, spot on this last one. There it is. Keep going with it. Leo.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
Welcome back to the Q30 Newscast. In a couple weeks, the Quinnipiac Student Government Association will have an entirely new executive board. Q30's Samantha Pirelli spoke with the current SGA president to tell us what this process will look like and how students can apply.
Thanks, Liz and Audrey. The Student Government Association Executive Board elections will be held on April 25th. Here's what we know so far. All of SGA's executive board positions will be open for students to apply to beginning early next week. Applications will be open next Monday, April 10th, and close Monday, April 17th. Students interested are encouraged to go to the information sessions to learn more. The next information session will be Monday, April 10th. SGA President Awane Roberts says that these elections are important for students to participate in, to use their voices, and to vote for those who can make the university a better place.
I think it's important for students to vote in the elections because obviously Quinnipiac has a lot of problems, and if you don't vote in the elections, you'll never get this problem solved. You should go ahead and vote for people that can get these problems fixed.
Roberts hopes that the new executive board will continue to be transparent with the Quinnipiac community. For Q30 News, I'm Samantha Pirelli. Let's send it back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Sam. Moving over to Washington, D.C., it's been a busy week in the world of politics.
That's right, Liz, and it's not just Washington, D.C. We start tonight with a former president drawing attention in New York City this week. Q30's Casey Nedelka joins us in studio to tell us what happened and plenty more. Casey?
Thanks, Liz and Audrey. We've got a lot to talk about this week, so let's get right into it. Former U.S. President Donald Trump appeared before a New York grand jury on Tuesday. Trump pleaded not guilty to 34 felony criminal charges in connection with the alleged cover-up of his affair with Stormy Daniels. In addition to the $130,000 payoff, prosecutors have alleged that Trump took part in a conspiracy to suppress negative information during the 2016 election. After the hearing ended, Trump flew to Florida, giving a speech at Mar-a-Lago where he said, quote, "The only crime I've committed is to defend our country from those who seek to destroy it. Our country is going to hell," unquote. The next in-person hearing for the case is currently set for December 4th. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has ordered the state's Inspector General to investigate the circumstances surrounding the Walt Disney Company's recently signed Declaration of Restricted Covenants. Signed in February, the declaration allows the entertainment giant to retain control of the self-governing district that Walt Disney World resides in, despite DeSantis' recent attempts to revoke their power. The declaration contains the rule of perpetuities, a clause that keeps the contract effective until 21 years after the death of the last descendant of Prince Charles III. This includes descendants who are not yet born, making the time frame essentially limitless. Florida Inspector General Melinda Miguel is yet to comment. Lastly, on Sunday, former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson announced his bid for the Republican presidential nomination. The 72-year-old Hutchinson, who served as governor of Arkansas from 2015 to January of 2023, has had a long political career. He served as Director Administrator of the Drug Enforcement Agency and served as the U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Arkansas under the Reagan administration. Other confirmed candidates for the Republican nomination are former President Donald Trump, former South Carolina Governor and UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, political activist Vivek Ramaswamy, and former Montana Secretary of State Corey Stapleton. That's all the time we have this week. Now back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Casey. Now we are moving on to our second break of the night.
Don't go anywhere. We have our 7-day forecast, plus a look into what the Department of Transportation is doing to limit the amount of distracted drivers on the roads. That's all coming up after this.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/therightseat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
This week is the first week of April, meaning hopefully more spring weather is on the way.
Back with the 7-day forecast is Ben Rickovicius.
Thanks, guys. Taking a look at the rest of the weather this week. To answer that question from earlier, things are going to be looking a lot better. We skip right ahead to Saturday and Sunday. Things are partly cloudy on Saturday, high of 54, low of 32, and then it gets nice and sunny on Sunday. Break out the shades, maybe play a little frisbee, go on a picnic. Really enjoyed this Sunday, high of 58, low of 38. Now, we carry on to the rest of this week. We have Monday and Tuesday looking a lot sunnier. 61 is our high on Monday, and on Tuesday it goes up to 64, so a really nice day. Time to take a look at the rest of Connecticut. Weather-wise right now, sitting around the temperature of 47, nice and cool tonight. Pretty universal across southern Connecticut, which is really nice to see. And you know, spring's getting there. It's getting a lot warmer. So that was our weather update. Back to you guys on the desk.
Last year, there were 5,200 crashes in Connecticut related to distracted driving. To help limit these dangerous incidents, states across the country use April as Distracted Driving Awareness Month.
To spread the word, the Connecticut Department of Transportation is running another campaign this year. Q30's Katie Cohen has more on this campaign and others that are made to keep drivers safe.
It's something you hear about every day, and maybe you've even done it. Distracted driving is a huge problem on Connecticut roads, and the month of April is dedicated to raising awareness.
People should not be texting and driving. They should not be driving distracted. So we need to get those numbers down to keep people safe.
The Connecticut Department of Transportation is starting up the federal campaign, You Drive, You Text, You Pay, again this year. It's used by states to try to limit the amount of texting and driving by explaining the serious consequences.
If you are distracted on Connecticut roadways, you are going to get a ticket. And like I said, those fines, they're not just a couple bucks, they're hundreds of dollars.
Looking down at your phone for just a split second, putting on lip gloss as you're running late, or changing the song can put your life at risk. But if you do these things, you're not alone.
2 or 3 times when I'm driving, I've definitely caught myself looking at my phone when I'm not supposed to.
Sometimes I will check my phone very quickly if I'm feeling a song that I want to queue up.
If I don't like the song that's coming on, I really want to change it fast.
For college students at Quinnipiac University, getting distracted on the road might not seem like a big deal. CT.1 wants students to be aware of the dangers.
There's a certain feeling of invincibility when people are younger, a certain thought that maybe taking a risk or this isn't going to happen to me mentality, which is just incredibly dangerous.
Distracted driving is not the only campaign CT.Dot is working on. April is also Work on Safety Awareness Month. Starting April 10th, work speed safety cameras will be placed in construction zones on highways across the state.
Our construction workers, our maintenance workers, our contractors, that's their job. That's where they go to work every day and every night, and we need to make sure that they get home safe.
This is the first time there will be automated speed enforcement on highways in Connecticut. For Q30 News, I'm Katie Cohen.
Now checking out what's going on across the nation, Q30's Sydney Weimer is in studio. Sydney, what do you have for us?
Thank you, Liz and Audrey. Our first major story this week comes from South Carolina, where a mysterious 2015 death is being reinvestigated. This past weekend, the body of Stephen Smith has been exhumed for further autopsies. Smith was found dead in the middle of a road on an early morning in July 8 years ago. It was claimed that Smith was involved in a hit and run, but a lack of evidence shows that he suffered no blunt trauma. The case was reopened in 2021 following the Murdaugh family murders, which provided additional evidence into the Smith case being a homicide. Further investigation into the Smith case will be carried out in coming months. Next, we're taking a look at more evidence found regarding the tragic school shooting last week in Nashville. Authorities found weapons and ammunition in suspect Audrey Hale's home, as well as past yearbooks and photos of the school. A suicide note from Hale has also been discovered, but the contents have not been released. Various other medical records and evidence regarding the planning of the shooting have been found. Hale, who was killed by officers on scene, is claimed to have been under medical supervision. Police will continue to investigate evidence regarding the massacre, as well as provide support systems for survivors of the shooting. For our last story, we're taking a look at tornadoes that devastated regions of the Midwest and South this past weekend. A mix of severe rain, hail, and winds resulted in mass destruction throughout multiple states. The areas impacted most severely include Illinois, Michigan, Indiana, Arkansas, and Tennessee. The recent weather has left many coping with the damage which caused businesses, homes, and even lives to be taken by the storms. There has been at least 32 victims to die as a result of the tornadoes. Further cleanup among these states is currently underway, and volunteers across all the affected regions are doing their part to help. That's all I have for this week's National Update. Let's send it back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Sydney. We're going to take our last break of the night.
Stick around to hear about one of the most exciting weeks of sports for the Quinnipiac community, as the men's hockey team prepares for another chance at a national championship.
Don't go anywhere.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing. After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this. You will find something.
You will find something new.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here.
Wait.
Why? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
today, Quinnipiac celebrated National Student Athlete Day outside of the Rec Center. The event honored Quinnipiac student athletes who both excel in academics and athletics. This day was created back in 1987, and since then it has recognized over 4.4 million student athletes across the nation.
Keeping things on theme with student athletes, it's time for a sports update. Let's send it over to Anthony Rossi. What do you have for us, Anthony?
Thanks, Liz and Audrey. No need for introduction, so records are being broken almost every single meet, as another record is set this weekend in Williamsburg, Virginia. The women's track and field team took a trip down south to participate in the Colonial Regionals and came out with another program record. In the 4x1500, the relay team of Liv DiStefano, Cassidy Phillips, Rachel St. Germain, and Alessandra Zafina broke the previous record by posting a time of 19 minutes and 8 seconds. That time broke the previous record by 45 seconds, which was good for a fourth place finish in the event. For the next meet, the Bobcats will head to Amherst, Massachusetts to take on the UMass Minutemen on Saturday. Now it's time for what everybody is waiting for. Tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m., the number 2 ranked men's ice hockey team takes on their biggest challenge of the year, the number 3 ranked Michigan Wolverines. Amazing talent all around. Ethan DeYoung, Luke Hughes, Colin Graff, Adam Fantilli, Yanni Pretz, Eric Portillo, Zach Metza, all the star power is out and ready to go. The Bobcats played Michigan last year and lost in the regional final 7-4. So with all that said, will history repeat itself, keeping the Bobcats from the national championship? Or will the Bobcats make it to their 3rd national championship game in the last decade? I guess time will tell. And with that, I'll send it back to the desk. Liz and Audrey, take the reins.
School spirit has been especially high on campus recently, with the men's ice hockey team on its way to the Frozen Four.
The university is showing all their support for the team. Andrew Reynolds has more on the story.
On Monday, the quad was packed as there was a pep rally for the men's ice hockey team as they get ready to head down to Tampa later this week for the Frozen Four.
It was cool being out here. I wasn't really sure what to expect, honestly. I didn't know if everyone had class and whatnot. But it was cool. It was sweet to see the turnout. I mean, could have expected, though. Like, it's no different than any game.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. It's great that the community's behind us. But in the end, it's great for them. It's great for them to get recognized, and it was a nice turnout here today.
And a great turnout it was. Students from across the Quinnipiac community are excited for the team to be back in the tournament, and most are very optimistic of a possible national championship coming to Hamden.
I'm really excited to support the men's hockey team in the Frozen Four. It's a great achievement to get to the Frozen Four, and I think we're coming home with it this year. I'm not really a big sports person, but to be honest, this is a really big deal, and I know, hockey is kind of our school's sport, so the fact that we're going to the Frozen Four makes me really excited. I'm excited to watch.
I'm very excited because it's the first time since I've been here that they've been able to make the Frozen Four, so being at the school while they're here, or while they're at the Frozen Four, is a great experience, and being part of this community is awesome.
For Quinnipiac Athletic Director Greg Amodio, creating that sense of community within the athletics on campus is what he hopes to bring with every team.
We're ideally a point of pride for the institution. It brings together our alumni base, the local community, the campus community, and that's really what athletics in general should serve, as a front porch to the institution.
Reporting from the quad, I'm Andrew Reynolds, Q30 News.
Thanks, Andrew. It's time to get excited for the big game. Quinnipiac is hosting a watch party at York Hill Rocky Top Student Center Fireplace Lounge to watch Quinnipiac take on Michigan in the Frozen Four.
And even better, students can cheer on the Bobcats with free pizza. Students must RSVP to the email invitation from Chief Experience Officer Tom Ellett. Students can also watch the game on ESPN2.
And here at Q30, we got you covered. We will have continuous coverage live from Tampa so you can stay up to date with the latest game information. And make sure to follow Q30 Sports on Twitter for score updates during the game.
Liz, are you going to be watching the Frozen Four game?
I definitely will be watching. I think it's great that we've gotten this far this year, and I think it's a great opportunity to see the ice hockey team play against Michigan, which is a huge team, so hopefully they can pull out the win on this one. How about you? Do you plan on watching?
I'm hype. I'm excited. I want to watch. I want to see the Q30 coverage. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for a good game tomorrow.
I agree. I think the Q30 coverage is definitely going to be something we need to see. But yeah, well, that is all we have for tonight's show. Be sure to stay connected with us online at q30tv.com and on Twitter at Q30 News.
For our producers and everyone behind the scenes, I'm Audrey Scafati alongside Liz Ippolito. See you next time. Good night, Bobcats.